Welcome to John S.'s Sports Channel, where we are now doing a prediction video for League One, Week 20. We start with Bolton versus Wigan. And Bolton have been playing some pretty good football. They started off playing really well. They had a little bit of a long blip where they just didn't quite have that amazing football they were playing. Just disappeared. Wigan started poorly. They started to pick up. They were playing pretty decent football. They were getting the results. And of late, 3 defeats on a row. Huddersfield 1-0 defeat, and a Leyton Orient 2-0 defeat, and then a Chesterfield 3-2 defeat away in the Virtue Trophy. So win, lose. What's going to happen next? They do need to pick this up. It's 7th versus 19th. Wigan will be not wanting to drop into those relegation places, and the teams at the bottom are starting to play quite decent football. Cambridge are, Leyton Orient were down there. They're playing and gone up into mid-table now. They're going to be worried. Bolton Wanderers lose, win, draw, win. Since the 5-0 defeat away at Stockport, Bolton have started to play football decently again. And it's strange, isn't it? It took a bad defeat against Huddersfield, and everybody's saying, right, okay, the manager's going to get the sack. Suddenly they started playing well. Bang. Then all of a sudden they get a bad defeat against Stockport, and then it's win, draw, win. They seem to need this kick to say, getting complacent, you're not going to do it. And complacency seems to be the thing with Bolton. Are they going to fall for it again? We have to assume not, don't we? We have to assume that this team is going to respect the fact that Wigan are an ex-championship side. In fact, they're higher than that, aren't they? So they can play football at a higher level. They have got some decent players in their side. Although win, lose for Wigan does suggest that they're a bit haphazard at the minute. I think Bolton on a good day can beat Wigan. I think Wigan on a good day can probably sneak a 1-goal win here. However, let's have a look what you're saying. 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-1. I'm going to go with one of you. I think Bolton are just scoring too many and too easily at the minute, and some really technically perfect strikes on goal. I think it's going to be Bolton 3, Wigan 1. And we go to Orient in 16th versus Burton in 23rd. Now, Burton want to make sure that they show them a good face on this one. They've been improving a lot, and I think they have been improving a lot. Lose, draw, win, lose, but the last two, Wrexham, just a 1-0 defeat at home to Wrexham is pretty good. Stevenage 4-0, it was a Virtue Trophy. They probably didn't even, they're more concentrating on the league. But then you could say the same again with the 1-1 draw in the FA Cup to Tamworth, couldn't you? That they actually went out against. But then the 2 games before that, the Stockport 3-0 defeat and Charlton 1-0 defeat, and you think, they have been improving. They've just not been getting the results. And I do think that football they've been playing has been working, and it is showing some really good signs of. People like me can go and watch them, and actually they're a good side to watch as a neutral. But Orient have been playing a hell of a lot better. They've took their style of play and their abilities have just gone ahead in leaps and bounds, haven't they? Draw, lose against Huddersfield, and then suddenly win. And they are showing class now. And they're showing that they can be a mid-table side at least and stay there. So for what you say, 1-0 to Leyton Orient, 2-1, 1-1, 3-2, 1-0. The best for Burton there is a 1-1. I can see that. I really do think you probably nailed it there. Orient or a draw is probably where we're going. For that reason, I'm going to go for Leyton Orient 2, Burton 1. And go to Birmingham versus Bristol. Now, Birmingham versus Bristol Rovers. Birmingham, little bit of a blip, just a tiny one. But since that defeat against Shrewsbury, 3-2, it's been 5 straight wins. Will they make it 6? Yeah, you have to think they will. Bristol Rovers do turn up. Sometimes they don't. Draw, win, lose, draw, lose. There's been a couple of times in there where they just not quite turned up, and others where they've just played the wrong team at the wrong time. The last time out, Leyton Orient, they're on fire, and all of a sudden they happen to play the one team near the bottom that's on fire, and that's it. I think it's still going to be Birmingham. What are you saying? 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0. I'll go with a majority of you I think. Birmingham 3, Bristol Rovers 0. And we'll move to Charlton versus Mansfield Town. My one to watch, of course, Mansfield. And I can see where you're all coming from. You're all saying 1-0, 2-1, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1. You're all saying Charlton, but Mansfield probably going to score something. But if you look at the way things have been going, Charlton started a bit iffy. Then they've played really well at the point where Rotherham played them. The technical ability was spot on from Charlton in that game. Came back to equalise in the last few minutes, and they really were playing brilliant football in that period. Then they've had a bit of a blip. Lose, win, lose, draw, lose. But those 2 wins, 1-0 away to Burton in the league, and then 4-0 win away to Walsall in the FA Cup. These are different class teams at the end of the day. So, who are they playing? They're playing Mansfield. Lose, win, lose. Now, my Mansfield fan that keeps coming on onto the watch-alongs and listen-alongs, he keeps saying they're playing brilliant football to watch. It's really pretty, but it's not getting shots at target. In fact, the couple of times when we've listened, we've been watching them and like listening to the radio and thinking at the same time, and you think, we all agree, and you're like, how the hell did they miss that? And they'll go 2 yard out, and he'll miss the net from 2 yard out, and you think, it would have been easier to hit. It's just not having the run of the green like Blackburn have in the Championship. They just don't get the run of the green, and they're not getting the chances that... Well, they're getting the chances, they're not taking them. And weirdly enough, I think both sides are almost the same. They're in a similar situation. They've got the skill, and they're showing they've got the skill, but the results aren't coming. And for that reason, I'm going to Charlton 1, Mansfield Town 1. I can't split them. And that's my joker of the day, I think. No, I've got 2 jokers. That's my first joker. Exeter versus Barnsley next. And again, we've got our Barnsley fans on board who keep saying that they keep losing it in the first few minutes or the last few minutes. Exeter started off average. Then they started playing really good football, didn't they? They rocketed up the table, and they were really in contention for those top 6 places. And now it's Exeter 11th and Barnsley 8th, and both of them have dropped away from that top 6. And they're both playing probably about the same standard of football. Exeter lose, win, although Chesterfield in the FA Cup. Draw, lose. And that last one against Birmingham, 2-1 in the Virtue Trophy. Remember, because it's Barnsley, draw, lose, lose. And that last one was a loss against Birmingham, but in League One. Both teams played Birmingham last time out. Both lost 2-1. This is going to be one of those games, I fear, where the way they're playing and the results they're getting and their abilities at the minute and the run of the green at the minute seems to be almost identical. And you're saying 2-1, 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, 1-2. It's almost an even spread, but with a draw being the main thing we're looking at. And I'm going to go with Exeter 2, Barnsley 2. And I'm quickly going to move on to Huddersfield versus Lincoln. Now, Lincoln were playing some really good football and they were playing really well. Huddersfield started off a bit slow, but they quickly got into their stride. Huddersfield win, 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 win. And last time out, Virtue Trophy, they lost to Bolton 3-1. I would actually ask whether they really need that in this... when they're fourth, they really need to be concentrating on the league. They want to be in the top two, so it's going to be a fight to stay in, get into that top two and stay there. They probably don't want anything to do with this Mickey Mouse Trophy, and anyway, not really going to take it seriously because they just want to get back into the Championship. As I do Birmingham, I don't think Birmingham really have a strong guy on it. They'd like to win it, take their fans to Wembley, yeah, sure. But I don't think they've got 100% effort in winning it. It's just that the fact that the class of their team is 10 times most of the rest of League 1 and 2, isn't it? So Huddersfield playing really strong all the way through the last 6, really. Knock out the Virtue Trophy. Lincoln City, they played absolutely awful against Rotherham. Obviously, Rotherham won 2-1. It's been a defeat, a win against Crawley, a defeat against Rotherham, draw against Charlton, and then Virtue Trophy 1-0 win against Morecambe. They're not playing very well. And against the Huddersfield side that is on fire at the minute. They may think, that was a bit of a blip against Bolton, but we're not really bothered about that. I think that's not going to harm their confidence whatsoever. What are you saying? 1-0, 3-1, 2-1, 3-0, 2-0. Nobody even going for a draw, let alone a Lincoln win. I'm going to agree. Huddersfield 3, Lincoln 0. And we'll move quickly on to Peterborough versus Crawley. Now, Peterborough are one of those sides that they've been banging the drum again, and they try and just beat the drum every so often. You hear the news articles coming out, and again we've got the news articles coming out beating the drum for Crawley for Peterborough when they knock Crawley for 6. But will they? So far, win, lose, lose. Their wins: 4-1 win in the Virtue Trophy against Crystal Palace, 6-1 win in League 1 against Cambridge, and 4-3 win in the FA Cup against Notts County. Note all those 3 wins had the opposition scored 1, 1, and 3. They're a bit like, in fact, all the last 6 games, they've let goals in all the last 6 games, full stop. Crawley playing well in 45 minutes, not so well in the other 45 minutes, or in one of the games I think it was that they played well for 20 minutes and then another 20 minutes somewhere else, but they don't play well for the whole. They've improved for like 40, 45 minutes per game. Draw, lose, draw, win against Rotherham, lose and win. Up and down really are. Big portions of the game they play pretty average, lower half, probably bottom 6 style football, and then all of a sudden they're playing good top half football, and it's impressive. Don't know why. They really do have to do it for the fans' sake. They need to be a little bit more consistent. I would prefer to see it that they don't play so well in that 45 minutes, and that the poor side of it sort of raises up a little bit, so that you get a nice standard of class all the way through the game. So that's what Leyton Orient have done. They've improved everything steadily, and that's what Burton have done. They've improved not as much, but all the way through the 90 minutes. And this Crawley side is it's so unbalanced that you can't tell what the score's going to be, because the opposition have to be able to take advantage of when Crawley's not playing that really good football. Charlton, for instance, couldn't do that. They just had the game plan just wasn't right, and Crawley ended up winning 2-1 away at Charlton. Yeah, they just had the wrong game plan. So what are you all saying? Peterborough, Crawley, 3-1, 2-2, 1-1, 0-1 and 3-1. I just think that we've got a point where Peterborough are banging that drum, and quite often it works. I don't think it's going to work against a Crawley side that really don't care, because they've been down at the bottom and they were expected to be in the bottom. They expect to get hit by comments and during the week. I'm going to go with one of you. I'm going to go with Peterborough 0, Crawley 1. But yeah, it could quite easily go either way, or even be down the middle, couldn't it? And we go Reading versus Blackpool, I believe it is. Yes, Reading versus Blackpool. Reading in 6th versus Blackpool in 13th. I just want to remind you that it's Peterborough in 15th and Crawley in 21st. So that's another reason why Crawley really wanting to get out of that bottom four now, and they a good win would just do that. So that's an impetus, and like try and keep the impetus to it going, and that's the excitement of trying to get out of there, and be eager to get out. So that's another reason why I think that they've got a better reason to win it. Reading 6, Blackpool in 13th. Let's get to what you're saying. 2-1, 3-2, 2-0, 2-1, 1-1. So everyone's saying Reading. One or two of you saying a draw in there, and you're thinking, I can see where you're coming from. Reading, win, draw, draw. I don't think they're going to lose it. I don't. Not at home. They're playing some really good football. They've been playing some cracking football at the beginning. Then they had a little bit of a blip, but now they've started to come back and start to just be able to solidify a bit, And okay, they've lost their boss, but they appear to be still just as they haven't fallen away. They haven't had a bounce, because he's always been around this their manager, hasn't he? So I don't think it's going to make any difference at all to the game. Blackpool, we know that they had a good manager bounce, and then we had his son passing away. I think that that now is starting to sort of, we're starting to see them play better for him now, and they will start to it will almost gel the team even better, I think, as he starts getting the team to play, or they're playing for him as well as for themselves. Draw, lose, win. They have started to play a little bit better. I don't think they've been playing a huge amount better. Have they been playing enough better to beat Reading? I don't think so. I think they are good enough to score, and they have been scoring, but only the odd one. So I think the odd one or two. I'm going to go with Blackpool. I'm going to go Reading 2, Blackpool 1. I think Reading will win. I think Blackpool will score. It could be 2-2, but I think it's going to be 2-1. I'll go with you. This is my second joker. It's Rotherham versus Northampton. And it's a sort of joker, if you like, because we saw the impressive Tranmere Rovers game. It's Mickey Mouse Trophy. And I think we just scraped over 1,000 fans there, of which over 100 were Tranmere fans. Wrong United, lose, win, although that was against Bradford in the Mickey Mouse Trophy. Lose, win. We've had 2 wins in a row. Can we make it 3? Now, this side is actually playing good passing the ball to the feet football for once. Well, amazing, it works. Will Evans go back to his lobbing it over the top? Possibly. He does, doesn't he? I'm hoping he not, and the rest of the Rotherham fans hope he doesn't, because that was a good game of passing to the feet for 85 minutes. And then they just had 5 minutes of let's let Tranmere try and equalise. Yeah, brilliant. So Northampton, they've been playing really well. The Peterborough game, what a game. They really did play well against Peterborough. 2-1 winners last time out at home to Peterborough. They're starting to play some cracking football. Lose, draw, lose, win. The two draws though, Blackpool and Cambridge, not playing too bad at the point where they played them. So it wasn't such an impressive win, because they still weren't playing marvellously, and they're not great teams. But they were playing two teams that had started to improve again. So it's a pretty good draw, although they were 0-0. So they have been improving, Northampton, and that's what we're getting from their fans. Their fan base is saying, yeah, we're improving, we're getting better. We think we can make a game of this. In fact, we think we can win it. What are you lot saying? 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, 1-1, 2-1. Yeah, everyone except for one or two people saying that Rotherham will win it. And the other people saying it's going to be a draw. I'm going to play my joker. It's been 5 years since Rotherham's won a game by 3 goals or more. 5 years. I think it's going to be one day. I think it's going to be this one. Rotherham 4. Northampton Town 1. Let's play my joker. Shrewsbury Town versus Wycombe. Don't laugh. Like and subscribe. And click the bell, and we will see you on our watch along on Saturday. So we go to Shrewsbury versus Wycombe, and Wycombe are flying. They really are. They're okay. We've had a little bit of a blip, haven't we? Win. I mean, it's basically been a long string of wins, isn't it? I don't know how long it is. What win, draw, lose. Okay, Swindon Town in the Mickey Mouse Trophy. They probably couldn't give a damn about it. Probably couldn't. I think it was Wycombe or Wrexham that was in the final last year and lost. They probably couldn't give a monkeys about it against a Shrewsbury Town team that have lost, win, lose. Can he get them playing? This manager, the new manager. Can we get them really up and going? We had a few sort of verbal, we're gonna knock Wycombe out, and we're gonna really beat them. And I think Shrewsbury are really showing the signs that they need to try and get that team's mental performance better. But a 3-2 win, for him against Birmingham in his first game, wasn't it? Bloody brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But then he's lost against Blackpool, and he's lost against Cambridge. 4-1 against Cambridge away as well. That wasn't a good game. And they didn't play well. Can he pull back that game plan from Birmingham? I think he can, but will he have enough against a Wycombe side that's obviously just a little tiny blip, but have been bloody good for the rest of the season? What are you saying? 3-2 to Shrewsbury, interesting. 3-1 to Wycombe, 2-0 to Wycombe, 2-1 to Wycombe, and 2-0 to Wycombe. I think that Wycombe are going to be too strong for Shrewsbury, and I'm going to go with Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe 3. Sorry, Shrewsbury fans, I just can't see that a team in 21st is going to beat the team in first position. Stevenage versus Stockport next, and this is one of the other games that's going to be quite tight, I think. I don't think this is going to be an easy game to work on. In fact, I'm going to go straight to what you're saying. 0-2, 0-1, 0-3, 2-0, 0-2. Yeah, they're both directions, but most people going for a Stockport win because Stockport have played some really good football. And of late, the two games they've lost, so they've won, lost. But the loss was against, the last time out was a defeat to Bradford in the Mickey Mouse Trophy. Again, do they care? 3 games ago, it was Birmingham 2-0 defeat away. Well, it's Birmingham, for heaven's sake. Most people are going to lose against Birmingham. So typically you're saying, actually, if you take those 2 out, it's 4 straight wins. And I think you really can say that here because it is Birmingham. And the other one is the Mickey Mouse Trophy. I think Stockport are playing good football and they've got their mojo back. They played a bit poorly before these 6 games and they had a bit of a blip. They're in 5th position. It's 14th versus 5th, and Stockport have got back into 5th. They dropped a few points for the few games before, but they come back fighting against a Stevenage side who, they have started to play better, and they have started to get. They've got 2 wins in a row. 2-0 and 4-0 against Burton, 2-0 against Northampton, 4-0 against Burton. And you have to think, they are playing better. And I think they might score. I think it could be a draw. It could be 2-2. And I've got a little bracket on here. I think it could be 2-2. But, I think this could be the banana skin game. I really do. I think that Stockport may be a little bit too cocky here. 5th against 14th. We're bound to win it. Their boss is prone to doing things like that. And certainly when he was a player, he was always like a little bit too cocky when we were playing the teams lower down the league and never really quite put as much in because they thought they were obviously going to win it. Stevenage 2, Stockport 0. But 2-2 would be quite an interesting score, and it could even be 2-0 the other way around, couldn't it? Really is difficult. As we go to our last game, Wrexham versus Cambridge. Now, Cambridge have been playing some damn good football. The win against Shrewsbury 4-1. Shrewsbury haven't been playing really well in that game, but 4-1 is a good score for a team that at the minute are in 22nd position. Of course, you're playing Wrexham, who's in 2nd, and Wrexham have the best home form in the EFL, I think. So they're not likely to get anything. Really not. Are they going to get anything against Wrexham, who put 5 at the back, and they've done so well at home, absolutely marvellous. Wrexham lose against Stockport, win, and then it's been. Although I must say their wins have been against Exeter, Lincoln, Barnsley, Burton, Crewe, so not massive sides. Cambridge United draw, lose, win, lose. Still points towards Wrexham, doesn't it? What are you saying? 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-0, 3-1. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Wrexham 3, Cambridge 1. I think they will score. They do have an ability to score. They have been improving. I think they'll do it. They could get a draw from this, Cambridge. And I think that would be if they can get a game plan to get past this back 5, because they refuse to budge from that. They will be playing a back 5. If Cambridge can get past that back 5 and then just blockade, I think they could do it. They could get a draw, but I think it's going to be 3-1 to Wrexham. That's John S's Sports Channel over for another week, another prediction video. Please do like and subscribe, and we shall be back with more live streams now that we're over our week blocked for having a copyright infringement. And it's John S. Sports Channel over for one more week. Like and subscribe.